It's really not good, folks. It's not. It's not looking good if you are a fan of the Boston Red Sox. However, reinforcements might be on the way very, very soon. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back into another edition of the Red Sox Rundown. We've got a lot of injury news to talk about today. Plus, we'll recap the first game of this Blue Jays series. But before we do that, thank you all so much for helping us get to 3,000 subscribers. We did surpass that 2 days ago. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to hit the subscribe button. But as you know, we are never satisfied here. 4,000 subscribers is our next milestone. I'm hopping on a plane today at the time you're watching this to fly to Boston for a week vacation. I'm going to be at Fenway 3 days this week, filming a bunch of content for you guys. So don't miss out. This is the time you want to subscribe to the channel because this is the only time I'm going to Fenway this year. So hit that subscribe button. Daily Red Sox videos. I promise. You watch 1 week, you're going to fall in love. Don't miss out. We got injury news. Cora had, I guess basically his weekly at this point injury update. And we got significant news on Alex Bregman, Justin Slaten, Masataka Yoshida, and Jordan Hicks. Let's start with Alex Bregman. He hit yesterday. He hit before the game yesterday, and he is scheduled to take ground balls today, according to Alex Cora. This is huge news. He is finally doing baseball activities. Now, how long will this take? We don't know. Everyone is still speculating around the All-Star break. That is still a few weeks away. But the fact that he is finally making strides in baseball activities is a huge step in the right direction. He's not just jogging or running or whatever, and we'll see next week and we'll see next week. No. Baseball is actually being played by Alex Bregman. It's a start. We're not there yet. Still plenty of time left, but to see him actually engaging in baseball activity is a very good sign. Here's what Alex Cora had to say about Alex Bregman's injury. He said, "It's week 5. We'll reassess the situation in week 6, and then from there, we'll probably have a better idea of when he's going to come back. He's progressing very well. No timetable yet. I don't think he's pushing faster than what he can. I think he's pushing because he feels good. So we just have to be patient and be smart about it. And whenever he's ready, he's ready." It's all good news. It's all good news on the Alex Bregman front. He hit yesterday, taking ground balls today. He's pushing because he feels good. He is not overextending himself. He is not pushing on an injury that he is not ready for. He's pushing because he's feeling better. And that is exactly what you want to see. So it sounds like they're going to reassess next week. And then by the time they get to that point, we might officially actually have a legitimate timetable at his return. Now, I think the All-Star break might be pushing it. I think maybe right after the All-Star break. But, again, there were reports weeks ago that he might skip a rehab start altogether. And if he feels good enough to skip a rehab start altogether, great. I personally think he should probably go down and do a game or two for a rehab start, just get him loose. He hasn't done game action in over a month and some change. But the sooner, the better. If he's feeling good, get him back in the lineup, because after last night, you desperately need it. Let's talk about Justin Slaten here. This is another reinforcement that the Red Sox desperately need right now, especially after last night with how the bullpen was not good. Here's basically the news. This is from various Red Sox news sources. He's been dealing with we know he's been dealing with the nerve issues in his neck and shoulder, and he's been completely shut down from throwing. He has not done any throwing at all since he went on the IL, but he played catch for the first time yesterday, which is huge. That is the start of his build-up. He's going to start to build up, and that will likely culminate in a rehab assignment at some point in the next month. So, again, we're probably still a few weeks out. We need to see how he reacts and responds to throwing for the first time in weeks, but it's steps in the right direction. The Red Sox have worn out their bullpen. It just is what it is at this point. And they need every reinforcement they can get, because the starters, while as of late they've had some pretty quality starts, they got worn out very, very fast. They pitched really, really well in most of June, But over this losing streak, they've started to struggle a little bit. But getting Justin Slaten back would be a huge boost to this this bullpen that desperately needs help. What is your confidence level in the Red Sox bullpen right now? Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being this is the worst bullpen in all of baseball. 10 being this is the best bullpen in all of baseball. I'm going to go a 7. I'm still confident in the bullpen. However, I am worried about the fatigue, obviously. And they've started to show signs of fatigue. Greg Weissert, Brendan Bernardino in particular, have started to look absolutely gassed. So, if you asked me a week or two ago, I would have said an 8 or a 9. Now I'm kind of at a 6 or 7. I still like what we have, but I'm not, I'm a little more worried than I was before. But you let me know, scale of 1 to 10, confidence level in the Red Sox bullpen right now. A reinforcement that might be coming for the Red Sox bullpen relatively soon is Jordan Hicks, one of the pitchers you got back in the Rafael Devers trade. According to everything that we heard, he threw his second rehab appearance in Worcester, and he had a scoreless inning, and that was really great to see. He threw 23 pitches, 15 strikes. He struck out 2 and only allowed 1 hit. And word on the street is we might see Hicks within the next week. And if that's the case, that is yet another valuable bullpen arm. Now, look, is Hicks going to come up here and be one of the best relievers in all of baseball? I don't think so. I don't think a lot of us were very thrilled when we saw that he was one of the main pieces in the Rafael Devers trade. He's struggled this season as a starter. Now, maybe putting him in the bullpen will maybe help him a little bit. But again, at this point, you just need arms. You just need arms. And let's actually get a player that you got in the Rafael Devers trade up to the major league roster. Can we actually see the fruits of our misery? Can we actually see them? Because Kyle Harrison is still down in Worcester. He's been pitching okay. Struggling a little bit, but he's been pitching okay. But getting, one of these players up on the roster, we say, okay, this is, what we got, and then we'll see whether or not if it was a good choice or not. But yeah, apparently he's been pitching okay, and we might see him up in the next week. Another note I want to make real quick as well, Tanner Houck, his next appearance is going to be out of the bullpen, which is interesting to see. Cora said that has no bearing on the future, but Cora says things all the time that are lies. But yeah, that was interesting. Tanner Houck out of the bullpen as well. So, there are arms on the way, but they're just not treading water at all. They've lost 6 straight, so it's not great to see. Finally, last but not least, Masataka Yoshida, our sweet prince Masataka Yoshida. We actually got a really interesting update. He spoke to the media yesterday, and Cora talked about him as well. He's expected to go on a rehab start this next week, perhaps on Tuesday in Worcester, which is crazy. The plan is for Yoshida to both hit and play in the outfield, which again is crazy to see. Why are we adding to the outfield logjam? I think they're trying to grow his trade value potentially, but I don't really know at that point. But Cora mentioned a DH platoon of him and Rob Refsnyder. I could get on board with that. Yoshida against righties, Refsnyder against lefties. The only problem is you've got that does not help the outfield logjam. You're still not helping the outfield logjam, because if you're going to platoon Yoshida and Refsnyder, okay, well, when Anthony doesn't play, where's Anthony going to go? Is he just going to ride the bench? I think you should be getting these younger guys at bats at this point. So I don't know. I would love Yoshida back in the lineup. He is a contact hitter that moves runners and has good situational hitting, which is something you do not have in this lineup. So I am all for getting Yoshida back. There's just a lot of questions that come with that move. Where do people go? How does the lineup look? I'm skeptical, but hey, reinforcements, you need to change something. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You're not going to win ball games with this roster. You need to switch it up. So if you bring up Yoshida, hell, let's see what happens. Nonetheless, the fact that he is feeling better from his shoulder surgery, he talked about it today. He said it took a lot longer than he thought, but he is feeling better. That's a good sign, because you never want to see someone injured for a prolonged period of time, even if Yoshida is a phantom IL stint, which at this point I think we can all say he was not. He was legitimately hurt. So to see him back is very good to see. Do you want Yoshida back in the lineup? Just let me know. I mean, he's a little bit of a controversial, I don't even know if that's the right word, divisive character in the Red Sox system, so in amongst Red Sox fans. So you let me know. Do you want him back in the lineup? Y for yes if you would, and for no if you do not. I would love to hear your thoughts. At this point, I'm like, hell, just do it, because you need something different. You need to try something different. So I'm all for it, but you let me know. Y for yes and for no. Do you want Masataka Yoshida in the lineup? All right, we're going to talk about the game here in a second, but again, through the good and through the bad, we're recapping all 162 Red Sox games. Even if the Red Sox wave the white flag in 2 weeks and they end up selling off everyone at the deadline, we're still going to be here every single day. If you love the Red Sox, if you are as committed as we are here at the Red Sox Rundown, make sure you hit that subscribe button. 4,000 subscribers, that is the next milestone. Let's hit it as soon as possible. Okay, I'm just going to go through it quick. There's not much to say. Red Sox lose 9-0. They get absolutely boat raced. 3 games under 500. Let me look at the standings. I don't have the standings up. I should have had the standings up. There are still games that are in play right now, but you're 8 games back on the Yankees. How's the wild card looking? 2.5 back on the wild card. It's your longest losing streak since 2022, 6-game losing streak. Longest since 2022. Your pitching today really was bad. Brian Bayo gives you a relatively quality start. 6 innings pitched, 8 hits, 3 walks. That you don't love to see that, but only 3 runs. He did limit the damage, and he did give you some length with 6 innings. He threw 30 pitches in the first inning. I think everyone was like, oh, God, this is going to be a quick outing for Bayo. He only struck out 1 guy as well. My problem with Brian Bayo is, and this is a problem with a lot of the pitchers, is you get up early, and then you can't finish the batters. There were numerous at-bats where Bayo was up 0-2 and the batter drew a walk. That can't happen. And 2 of those at-bats led to runs. In the first inning, you had Alejandro Kirk, I believe it was, at 0-2, and it would have been a quick 1-2-3 inning. You had him 0-2 and he worked a walk. And then George Springer gets a hit, and it scores a run, and it's a whole thing. It actually wouldn't have been 1-2-3 because Vladdy got on, Alejandro Kirk came up, he walks Alejandro Kirk, George Springer hits in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You could have been out of that inning pretty quickly, but instead that turned into a very long 30-pitch inning that ended in a run scored. That's my biggest issue with Brian Bayo. And that's not just this game. That has been games in the past this season. He gets up 1-2, 0-2, and he ends up walking the batter. He ends up nibbling around the plate. Throw the ball. Hit the zone. You're a ground ball hit pitcher. That is your signature. You are a ground ball pitcher. Pitch to soft contact. Don't pitch to strikeouts. Because when you're trying to pitch to strikeouts, then you just end up walking people. And it is not conducive. It doesn't work. So that's my biggest issue with Brian Bayo. But the rest of the pitching tonight wasn't great as well. Luis Guerrero only gives you a third of an inning, 2 hits, a walk, 2 earned runs. Not great. Brandon Bernardino was worse. He gave you a full inning, though. 2 hits, 4 walks, 4 runs. We walked in a runner at one point. I don't know if that was Bernardino or if that was that had to have been Bernardino. Bernardino walked in a run. It was horrible. Then Alcala comes in. He gives up 2 hits and in 2/3 of an inning. Your best pitcher tonight, get this. Your best pitcher tonight was Nate Eaton. Position player Nate Eaton was your best pitcher last night. He went into the 9th. He got you a full 9th inning with only 2 hits. No runs, no walks, no Ks, no nothing. Nate Eaton, a position player, was your best pitcher last night. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing on Craig Breslow. That is embarrassing on Andrew Bailey. That a position player was your best pitcher last night. That's embarrassing. Andrew Bailey should be ashamed of himself. Craig Breslow, pitching genius, should be ashamed of himself because a position player was your best pitcher last night. That's embarrassing. I mean, the offense didn't do much either, though. struck out 8 times, walked twice. The pitching, you walked 8 batters tonight in the pitching staff. You only had 4 hits. Roman Anthony had a nice double in the first. That was really great to see. Duran had a double, not a double, a single as well. Abreu and Rafaela both had hits. That was it. The rest of your lineup did absolutely nothing. You struck out 8 times. I don't really know what to say. It's just your offense did absolutely nothing. Your pitching was horrible. You got out hit 16-4. And once again, Nate Eaton, a position player, was your best pitcher last night. I'm going to ask you, do the Red Sox win this series? Why? Yes or no? Do the Red Sox win this series? I don't know, man. I don't know. You got Lucas Giolito on the mound today. Richard Fitz on the mound on Sunday. I will be at the game on Sunday. And then, yeah. I don't know. But you let me know. Do the Red Sox win this series? Yes or no? That's it, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you all so much for taking time to watch the video. I'm going to be at the games on the 30th, the 2nd, and the 3rd. Is that correct? Actually, let me confirm that. I am going to be at the game on the 30th against the Blue Jays. I will be at the game on the 1st against the Reds, and I will be at the game on the 2nd against the Reds. So if you are there, say what's up. I'm very excited. Also, Sunday is on-field photo day, so I'm going to get to meet the players and stuff, so that's going to be really cool. But that's it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Do all those things. Have a great rest of your day. Hopefully the Red Sox win tonight. And until next time, go Sox.